stimulus. Third stimulus across the board. And the big developments are whether the bill is not big enough. Is the bill not big enough at $1.9 trillion? And was the bill written by Joe Biden at a time in which he thought certain facts would warrant a $1.9 trillion bill? And is he now regretting coming in at such a small bill? And is he going to go bigger and bolder or narrower and smaller in the days to come? I hope he has some bacon for me, because, I might need some bacon for this one as well. Thank you for joining me on Afternoons LA. Here we are live at about a little bit after 4 o'clock if you're tuning in. This is a live version of me. Hi, here I am. I'm here. I'm live. If you're watching this video at 4 a.m. in the morning, that's not me. That's live. That's taped me. So you don't answer me at 4 a.m. in the morning, because that's not me. I'm sleeping at that time. This is live me. I'm literally having this disagreement with people around the clock. They're like, why aren't you answering me my questions at 4 a.m.? Because that's not live me. This is live me. So I'm not kidding. I'm actually not kidding. So please subscribe so you get an alert when I'm actually live, because I'm now live. And if you join me later on and watch this video at 1 a.m. and wonder, why is he not answering me? He always ignores me. There's some trick. You have something set up here. I'm like, no. Below the video, it'll say a word like streamed 500 hours ago. That means it's not currently live. And you'll see the comments moving across the screen. That's because it's replaying the comments when it was live. Meaning, if you're now seeing things move across the screen and you can't get in there, it means the club is closed. The club is closed. The last call has occurred. The last dance has occurred, and we've all gone home from the club. But we're live now, and we're dancing, about to become a dancing pair, hopefully. So if you've not subscribed, then please subscribe. So you are actually you're actually in here when it's live. And hit that alert button. Also, like this video, and Queen Sandy is in the room, I think, as well. I think I saw her. And if you have not considered becoming a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. The breaking details as we sit here today is whether Congressional Stimulus Watchdog, LL, I love that, Scott Watson, I love that. The breaking details as we sit here today is Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion stimulus bill too small, and was it perhaps efficient or effective as drafted a few weeks ago and now no longer relevant? Drop in the comments right now if you think his $1.9 trillion bill is irrelevant. Irrelevant or relevant? Remember, irrelevant has an I in front of it. That's not my accent. Irrelevant or relevant? Hello, is this live? Body. Hi, buddy. How are you, buddy? When the host shouts back at you your name, then generally he's live. Relevant, says Alma. Zena says irrelevant. Shanta says irrelevant. D's set 207 says irrelevant. Too low, says Sean Domey. Tina says irrelevant. Irrelevant, says Angel. Irrelevant says Russell and Adam and Nancy and Karen as well. So, yes, the bill is very irrelevant now as we sit here in late January. Today is January 31st. We have one day until February, and it's quite surprising that we're even talking about 1.9 trillion. Why is 1.9 trillion irrelevant, in my opinion? Because it was based upon a series of assumptions, and those assumptions are no longer true. In an interview this morning, Dr. Michael Osserlow said to MSNBC, "We have to call an audible. I think it's no doubt about it." Who is this guy? He was the top COVID crisis transition member for the Biden camp. He was the number one person on the COVID team for Biden. In fact, Sanjay Gupta just a few days ago called him the most knowledgeable person ever about COVID. He said in his interview, the epidemiologist, that he says, yes, Numbers are good at the moment. Numbers are good for infection rates are down. Restaurants are open. We're all outside rollerblading and braiding our hair. But he says in about 4 to 6 weeks, wait for a tsunami to hit that you have never seen before. And what is that tsunami? It's the title of this video, B.1.351, the South African variant. The South African variant. 24 hours ago on this program, I reported to you for the very first time breaking news that the South African variant to the virus was discovered just outside of Washington, D.C. In Baltimore. An individual tested positive for the South African variant. That individual had never traveled internationally, in fact, never traveled anywhere outside of Baltimore. So it means that someone came to Baltimore and infected that person from having been in South Africa and transported the South African variant to Baltimore. That individual now joins individuals in North Carolina, South Carolina, and one northern state where the South African variant has been noticed. Melody Overton, thank you for coming to Purple Hawk. I really appreciate it. What's important to understand is that someone just said way too low based upon the current COVID info. Absolutely. The person's basically saying Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion is way too low based upon the current info. And that's what this video is hitting on. Everyone welcome Melody to the family. Thank you for becoming a Purple Hawk. Joe Biden wrote this bill, 1.9, when there was no variance. When there were no variants, and when there were certainly no variants in the United States. That is clearly indisputable. There was no variance in the United States. There was no variance at issue. Now, what is the reality? The reality, as you sit here today on a Sunday, January 31st, is that we may have 2 cases of variance in the entire country. But get ready, because that's not what Dr. Osserloff, Biden's #1 guy during the transition, told Meet the Press on NBC this morning. He said, give it 4 to 6 weeks, you're going to see the variant everywhere. Everywhere. And he says, we are not prepared for it, and it's going to be like a hurricane hitting. He says, this is Osserloff talking. Osserholm talking. You and I are sitting on the beach where it's 70 degrees, perfectly blue skies, gentle breeze. He's describing the current situation. New York and Los Angeles, all restaurants now open. COVID numbers down. Looks all real good. We're doing good. Everything's looking peachy. He says, get ready because that variant is coming. He says, but I see on the hurricane category 5 or higher, 450 miles offshore, off coast. Telling people to evacuate on the nice blue sky is going to be hard, but I can tell you this hurricane is coming. What is the hurricane? The variant. Alma Cross, thank you for coming to Purple Hawk. $1.9 trillion doesn't cut it. $1.9 trillion doesn't cut it because it's based upon everything being beautiful and punky-dory and businesses reopening in 90 days. Joe Biden said, this is going to reopen in 90 days. We're going to be back in the schools in 90 days. Hello, Joe, come on now. No one's going to be putting their kid in school when there's a variant taking people's lives in 4 weeks from now. So, Joe has not repeated that comment since we now know the variant is the country. But the issue is that the stimulus was based upon everything being totally beautiful in April. Congratulations, we're all back to normal in April 2021. No, you need to give us more stimulus checks. Now, let's go back to October of last year. Joe Biden's chief guy, who was also Arseloff, said, the best way, what's going to happen was we're going to have to bunker down, and you're going to have to send a stimulus check out every month until we get through this. The stimulus checks need to go out every month because this is going to get dark at one point. And we're certainly not at that dark point now. Now, Fauci said that January was going to be very bad, February was going to be very bad. It's not currently bad yet. So that is what that premonition hasn't occurred yet. But now everyone's saying, oh, get ready for the variant. What is the variant? Let me explain what the variant is. COVID is a virus. It's a virus. It mutates. It changes, and as it changes formation. And as it changes formation, the new version is different. So what is the South African variant? It spreads incredibly quickly. It spreads much quicker than the current version of COVID. So what that means is that it's easier to contract it, and it spreads in ways that the current version cannot spread. So it spreads much easier. That's the first issue. The second issue is that the current vaccines, um, after a certain period of time, cannot battle the variant. The current advisory from one of the manufacturers is that if you currently have 2 doses in your body, you're fine for 6 months. But after that, you got to get a booster because you're not going to have any protection against the variant. So this is what he says. The fact is that the surge, this is the doctor saying, this is Biden's number one guy during the transition. The fact is that the surge is likely to occur with this new variant, and it's going to happen in 6 to 14 weeks. This is an interview this weekend. So 6 to 14 weeks, that's not February, that's early March. That's exactly when Joe Biden said, hey, get ready, we're opening up, and it's a grand opening, grand reopening of America. Congratulations. I'm going to see you at school, and Dr. Jill's going to be there. We're going to be welcoming back all the little kids back to school. Congratulations, and that variant's going to be looking like, oh, I'm ready. I'm ready. The variant's gonna be, yeah, you're opening. Okay, I'm watching. Yeah. Uh, and this is what he says: 6 to 14 weeks. Get ready for a tsunami. And if we see that happening, from my 45 years in the trenches, tell me we will. We're gonna see something like I've not seen ever in this country. Boy. Okay. Wow. Those are big words. Those are big words. We still want to get 2 doses into everyone, but I got to tell you that we're going to see serious illnesses and death occur in the weeks to come. So this goes right back to the $1.9 trillion. It's just too small. It's too small, and Joe certainly has not gotten to a finality of the bill. He needs to get it up. He needs to get it up. Hashtag FPC Retro, hashtag SS200, hashtag MSC, and hazard pay needs to be. We don't know the numbers of hazard pay. We need those hazard pays way up. We need the business grants way up. We need the business loans way up, and we need to stop talking about taking care of rich people with the PPP. I'm so tired of hearing about the PPP. There's a couple things that really annoy me about stimulus, and one of them is PPP, and it's annoyed me since April 25th. I mean, you heard me on a deserted beach on April 26th says, I can't stand PPP. I can't stand it. You know why I don't like it? Is because it's just for the same people over and over and over again. You get one round of PPP. Oh, let's get another round of PPP. Oh, let's get another round. And then it costs a fortune. PPP in a stimulus package is like 75% of the stimulus package. It's like the whole stimulus package is PPP. And of course, you always hear me say second stimulus package, third stimulus package. Well, between the first and second stimulus package, there were rounds of PPP. I just don't talk about them because I'm going to break out. I can start itching if I start talking about all that PPP that happened between March and December. There were other rounds of PPP, and here's Mitt Romney and Ron Portman and Lisa Murkowski and Tweedledee and Tweedledum say, "Hey, we need some more PPP. Hey, let's do some more PPP. Yeah, why not?" There's $850 billion of unused PPP at SBA currently. Could be your stimulus check. Could be $5,000 stimulus check on a given day on this channel, like two. Like two. Where's my hazard pay, says Russell. Amen. PPP this, says Ira, says, you can take my PPP. It's just, we need moolah, not PPP. Tina, ring around the PPP. The Wallace and the Carpenter could run this country better than this. Wow, there's 1,000 people in the room at the 15-minute mark, but 300 likes. Can we get those likes up just a little bit? Will they get the Social Security done? At the moment, there's confusion about what's going on with this group. Now, let me recap because I always have people always hear something generally that I'm saying, and then they think that nothing's happening. So they'll hear me talking about this, and then they'll say, "Oh, so we're not getting $1,400 stimulus check?" Yeah, you're getting $1,400 stimulus check. I'm talking about everything else. So let me recap what's in the third stimulus package: $1,400 stimulus check for individuals, $2,800 stimulus check for married couples, $1,400 stimulus check for children, $3,200 stimulus check for adult dependents. $400 a week going forward at FPUC, no retro, no $600 a week, and extension of UI and PUA and FPUC to September 2020. Another round of business grants, but we don't know how. Another round of business loans, but we don't know how. Another round of hazard pay, we don't know how. $1,400 of paid sick leave. We don't know how you apply for it. $1,700 for student aid, one-time payment, and some tax credits. There you go. So, is that big enough? Is that 1.9 big enough? Yes or no? Drop in the comments right now. What do you think? Is 1.9, based upon what we hear with the variant and everything else, is 1.9 big enough? Hugh Smith, hell no. Hell no. This is a joke, says Soccer Mommy in the Instagram room. This is a joke. Peanut shell, says Catalina. Brenda, no, no. Brother Joshua, no. Hell no, says Zena. Catalina, no. And Linda says, nah. Cindy says, no, sir. No, no. Pathetic says, I can see what that said. And Marie says, no, not at all, says Michelle. Not at all. Ooh, no, says Kathleen. Too small. It's a joke, says Keith. Hell no, says Candy. Absolutely not, says Pappas. No, says Susan. Sandy says no. No way, says Nancy. Tina says, hell no. No, no, no. Sad, says Anne-Marie. Hey, Danny. Everyone, welcome to Danny to the family. How are you, Danny? Danny, do you think 1.9 trillion is a stimulus package that's big enough, or do you too small, or do you think it's big enough? Viewers so far are giving a hell no to this. Welcome, Danny. Danny, what do you think? Too small? No way, no way. Uh-huh. Nuh-uh. Welcome. Um, it is too small. It's insanely small. Hell no, said Danny. Thank you, Danny, and welcome to this family. And everyone, thank you for welcoming Danny. At the 17-minute mark, let me give you a big update where we are on this recording. Where you're on this recording is I'm not spending too much time on what the Republican counter proposal is. You heard me talk about it 3 times a day. I was the first channel to detail it to you early this morning. I think it was almost at 8 o'clock in the morning. I had it for you. The reason I'm not detailing it too much is because it's not going to see light of day. The only thing I don't particularly like about the Republican proposal is that Joe Biden's saying, yeah, I'll take a look at it. But when asked about the progressive proposal, he's like, Joe, can I have a comment about the progressives proposal? A stimulus check every month until this pandemic is over. It's just like dead silence suddenly when he talks. Yeah, jaw dropping. It's like as Catalina says, what? Jane is like, what? It's like, hello, the progressives. They wrote you that letter. Can I get a comment about? I don't. Was there a letter? I didn't. Maybe it got lost in the mail. I don't. Maybe the first dog and the first cat ate it. The first. I don't know. Is there 2 first dogs? There's a first dog and a second dog. And maybe Mitch has a first turtle. Maybe the first turtle ate it. I don't. Someone ate it. The first dog, second dog, the first turtle, the second cat. There's a cat, said Kelly. A cat. Hey, meow. Did you eat the progressive's letter to Joe, Mr. Meow? I think he did. I think the super chat cat ate the progressive's letter to Joe. That's why we have no comment about it. Where are those late likes, says Captain Sandy, Queen Sandy, getting you up. 455. Great room so far, 1100. Let's get this room to 2000 in the room. But 457, ooh, that's less than 50%. Oh meow. Get those likes up. Hit that like button. Let me answer some of your incredible comments and questions from yesterday's video, and then we'll cut back more to the news in a second. Kathy H. What are we living in? Is this the Bible book of Revelation? Here we go again. Oh, Lord. This is not Revelations. It's only one revelation, and I don't find it funny. Lord help us, America. Oh. Someone sending me a private message in about 10 seconds. She wrote it. I did not write it. Here's her message. Everyone welcome Scott to the room. The book of Revelations reappears on this channel. Yeah, there you go. If you did not tune in yesterday, it was, yeah. So everyone welcome Scott to this room. Kay Phillips, he's got to close the U.S. borders and retro checks that are larger. This is beyond crazy. Tom Mullen, here we go again. Incompetency coupled with no urgency equals a recipe for disaster. He actually wrote it that way with little, everything was a separate sentence. Tom Mullen. Here we go again. Incompetency coupled with no urgency equals a recipe for disaster. Shala Utan says new strain or strains of the virus equals new big stimulus, Mr. President. I love that. I love that. So the message is getting loud and clear. New strains. Are you strained, Mr. President, to give us bigger stimulus? When there's a new strain, what's the strain to not give us more stimulus, Mr. President? That sounds like a nice amendment there. Kathy H. Heck no. Just get it all done and what? The people of America, all our dang lives, worked very hard, now disabled, no fault of our own. Get it done, man. They're always going around and around and around the thorn bush, and certainly not the mulberry tree for a dang year now. God help them. Lord. Okay, the what was it? The thorn bush. So stop going around the thorn bush, Joe. And we're not referring to a mulberry tree. We're referring to the thorn bush. Thank you for that really robust comment. Lord, someone needs to whisper in his ear. Thank you for the super chat. I didn't see who that was. That was Aaron. Jennifer Strickland. The government needs to get back to I butchered that. The government's get back to work slogan will be in history books along with the later number of appropriate deaths due to their negligence. Ooh. Jeffrey Beeks. If we don't have enough stimulus, how can the economy get back on track? Well said. Louis Sawyer. I think someone is messing with Biden. People think he's, it's sort of interesting. We were sort of like at the edge of that discussion, I think yesterday, where people are starting to sense, wait a second, how is Joe getting so many things so wrong so early on? And people were joking about him personally, but it just sounds like there's some really incompetent person in there that's saying, hey, you know what? I can't find 25 million doses, Joe. They're missing. Remember the 25 million, if you didn't tune into yesterday, there's 25 million doses of the vaccine missing and Joe can't find them. Political confirms. Just 25 million doses missing. That was number one. Number two, he has no idea how many doses have been sent out to states. Number three, he can't find the progressives letter they sent him. It's just there's sort of this. I don't know. I have a feeling their mailbox is just full at the Oval Office. It's just something's missing there. Gloria Hayes. Multiple stimulus checks as needed is what he said. So where are they? Very well said. Lottie Armstead. Still haven't received my second stimulus check mailed out on the 6th. I don't want to have to file it on my taxes. I need it now. This is so messed up. And we have to wait until the middle of February to file an income tax. Oh, that's a great comment. So that's a really, really wonderful comment. And she's absolutely 100% correct. You know, it became a law in December you were going to get a $600 stimulus check. Now understand that when they were preparing the $600 stimulus check law, you were supposed to get it before Christmas. That was the whole concept. Give everyone a stimulus check before Christmas. In fact, Trump originally called a press conference at Mar-a-Lago, and the room was prepared. The ballroom at Mar-a-Lago was prepared to announce, I'm signing the bill. You're going to get a stimulus check, and it's going to land in your bank account before Christmas. He then got cold feet. He didn't sign it, and it got signed after Christmas, like a few days after Christmas. Well, the concept was to get a stimulus check in your hands before Christmas. It was sort of like a holiday sentiment to it. And so she's absolutely correct. Now, the head of Treasury, Janet Yellen, is she trying to find your missing $600 stimulus check? She was supposed to. Has she done that yet? No. And now they're telling you to file a tax return in February, and you have to wait to February 12th, which means you get in late February for something you were owed in December. Yeah, she's absolutely right. Great comment, Lottie and Amstead. Gregory Jones. The people in the state of Georgia need to file a class action lawsuit for a stimulus check. He's referring to Ossoff and Warnock, the two Georgia senators who ran on the platform that if you elect them, they would give you a brand new $2,000 stimulus check in 2021. I'll repeat, a new $2,000 stimulus check in 2021, not a $1,400 leftover stimulus check from December of last year. They have absolutely not held to their promise. In fact, all they've held to is going to the Senate ballroom and having some delicious lunch every day. Um, Kathleen Macchione, you need to set priorities straight, Biden. Purple power, purple dancing, purple pair dancing. Uh, Kathy Doen, people are hurting, and I'm going to. People are hurting, and it's going to snap. This has to stop. Very well said. Dwayne Fontenot, hell no. With that variant floating around, $3,000 a month isn't enough. Wow. What a comment. So Dwayne thinks that with the new variant floating around, you absolutely have to go bigger than 1.9 trillion, which is what all the viewers of this channel in the chat now thinks. You have to go higher than 1.9. But how high? He says $2,000 a month is not enough. You need $3,000 a month. What do you think? Gladys Carroll, they are too stupid to keep up with what they say to each other, let alone what they say to us. ABC Chiropractic. Thomas Bradley. Talked to the IRS Friday, and they said they haven't processed my 2019 tax return, which I sent in July, and I paid the money. A comment about IRS taxes. There you go. So, wow. With 28 minutes into this recording, what's going on? What's going on is that when Joe Biden wrote this third stimulus package, and he wrote these provisions like $400 a week of FPC going forward with no retroactiveness, he wrote it with no SSI and SSDI $200 a month add-on. He wrote it with no multiple stimulus checks. He wrote it with potentially small hazard pay, potentially small business grants. We don't know. That was when we didn't have the current situation. Now you have the South African virus variant confirmed in 3 states, but as his top COVID person during the transition period, and who Sanjay Gupta calls the most informed person in this country about COVID, is now warning, in 4 to 6 weeks you're going to have this variant everywhere. Hey, Nancy, thank you for the dancing pair. I appreciate it. And if you have something everywhere, you need to have relief everywhere. And COVID is here for another year or more, guys, says Russell. Very well said. This notion of, thank you for the dancing pair, I really appreciate it, is that you need help now, and that help cannot be presumed on the course that everything is going to be wonderful in March. Chris, I like dance, I like. So what are we going to do now? Well, says Black Jelly 2020. So we're going to continue our push. Hashtag FPC Retro, hashtag MSC, and hashtag SS200. And we're going to certainly stay on point because there's concerns that Joe is going to try to negotiate down off of 1.9. You don't want him to go down to 1.7 or 1.6, What is your reaction if he goes to 1.7 or 1.6? Give me your reaction on screen if he goes to 1.7, 1.6, 1.5. What is your reaction in words? Drop it in the comments on the screen now if he starts heading down. No way, says George. Hell no. Impeachment. Impeach him, says Brenda. Um, what the hell, LA? Someone said. Danny, thumbs down. Keep pushing. No, says Sandy. No, says Lorena. He needs to go higher and help the American people, says Amareth. Don't do it, says Cindy. Boo hoo, says Nancy. Oh my God, says the other Nancy. Hell to the no, says Liza. James says, oh, suck, no. Typical of government. Oh no, says Aiden. Not a chance, Catalina. So there you go. You want to make sure he does not go down. You do not want to. It's time for him to go up. Someone said the 25th Amendment. Aaron with the super chat. Oh my God, that's a big one. Aaron Griffin. Well, thank you with that incredible, enormous hippopotamus with the thing underneath his foot. I really appreciate it. If we impeach Biden, we can hear it. Someone said. It would just be absolutely catastrophic if we went. Thank you for that enormous super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Aaron, and everyone. Thank Aaron as well. If we went down, because it doesn't make sense. That's the second time that happened. Actually, the super chat doesn't appear above. I don't know what happened. It's there and then it's gone. I don't know. It disappeared. It's like the super chat was there and now it's gone. Um, so it would be no bueno. So you need to push, push, push purple power. You need to ensure he goes up on the stimulus, not down on the stimulus. Pelosi's $24,000 refrigerator. It's just a very, very important. What kind of stimulus are we looking at now? We're looking at 1.9 trillion, but we're concerned that Joe's going to go lower. Lorraine says, hit that like button. Yes, 1,400 people in the room. Good number, but 700 likes. Come on, get that likes up. Even the hippo says no bueno, says Catalina. 714, get those likes up. Hit that like button. There we go, 720. What are the countries doing? Well, the head of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, said, you're supposed to be spending 30% of your gross national product on stimulus. What have we spent? About 15%. It went like Houdini proof. So there you go. I didn't even cover yet in this recording the real issue of when is this going out? I mean, Biden's stimulus package talks about states like September, October, December, September, October. Well, guess what? These things aren't happening in September. Thank you, Scott Horn, for the dancing pair. I really appreciate it. Oh, I see. So that doesn't go there. I see how things work. I didn't. This thing goes there and this doesn't go there. So, thank you, Scott, for the dancing pair. Very, very kind. And thank you, Aaron, as well. The thing is that Joe's bill looks like he's betting on you're fine to September and I'm taking care of you, and after September, we're done. We're done. Sign this and have a great life. No. What did Dr. Osoloff say? September. Why is Joe doing things to September in his bill? He said 6 to 14 weeks. He said 6 to 14 weeks is going to be the worst part of this virus because of the variant. The variant's going to hit real big 6 to 14 weeks. What is normal now? He says if you think now is normal, because he's referring to now as you're on the beach with a mai tai and 70-degree weather. He says not normal is in 4 to 6 is in. Let me look at it again. I keep on forgetting the date. Is 6 to 14 weeks from now. 6 to 14 weeks from now. So that is that's starting in March, and 14 weeks is 3 months. So that's March to May. So yeah, Joe's thought that we're going to be totally back to normal in 2 months, or let alone that FPUC can stop in September, is just. No, FBC should be to December. Eviction moratorium should be December. Mortgage forbearance should be December. Why are we being so piecemeal? And if they're not, come out and say, hey, we have a problem, and I think we're gonna have to do another bill in a few weeks. Don't be afraid of the shot. The shot is fine. The shot is totally fine. It's just the same as it feels the same as a flu shot. It's absolutely wonderful. And if you have any questions about how to make sure that you feel your arm doesn't feel tight or anything after the shot, send me a DM. There's certain tricks you do after you have a shot. I had a few shots in the last few months for different things, and one shot I had, Lord, it was not this, it was not the vaccine, it was something, it was another shot I had. Oh Lord, but one day later I was fine, I was totally fine. But still, there are tricks, and so if you need it, but please, please, please get the vaccine. Please get the vaccine. All the fake narratives out there that something's going to happen to you, it's just totally fake. You're gonna, it's totally fine. It's just nothing. The worst that happens is your arm is hurting for a day, and that's it. I mean, you know, alive versus your arm is hurting for a day. Don't worry about it. Cannot find a shot anywhere. Yeah, that's the big problem. Scott, thank you for thank you for the pair. I want to know that it's important to get the shot. But if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. I'm not. This is not a vaccine advocacy channel. So I want to know that if anyone needs someone to talk to about anything like that, you can certainly send me a message. Um, and West Virginia is getting it also. Um, there you go. And no, don't be worried that you're allergic to stuff. Don't worry. The only thing that you have to be don't worry about allergies or anything like that. It's very important that you get it, especially if you are a low immune person or you're a senior. You really should get it. But I'm not gonna turn this into an advocacy channel. Um, so there you are. Wow, 37-minute mark and 858 likes in the room. Um, so with Joe's situation now, he should be going higher. One of the viewers in one of the live chats a few days ago said that she had heard Harris in an interview on Friday, which I could not find, in which she said we need to go very big and bold on the stimulus package. I never saw that interview. I'd be interested to see what it says. If she's basically saying bigger than 1.9 or staying at 1.9, because at this point, no one in this view in this room thinks that 1.9 is sufficient. I don't think 1.9 is sufficient. And it's not. It doesn't work for a lot of reasons. And let me just briefly tell you why it doesn't work. One, a stimulus check of $1,400 doesn't cut it. I don't have to tell you why it doesn't cut it. You know it doesn't cut it. It doesn't cut it from now to September. Yeah, for viewers that are tuning in and say, I really need that $1,400, don't tell him not to give me $1,400. I am telling him to give you $1,400. I'm just saying he should give you additional money on top of that. Next, FPUC at $300 a week. That's just, come on. It's better than nothing, but that's just not sufficient. There were a lot of reports that I covered in summer of 2020 that analyzed what FPUC numbers should be at, and they all categorically said that they should be somewhere around 500 or more. That 300 or less is basically saying, I'm giving you 20% of your salary. I'm giving you 15% of your salary. You take the rest out of your savings account, which you don't have anymore. So $300 doesn't cut it. It's economically an irrational, illogical number. It doesn't make any lot because it's not wage replacement. It's not wage replacement. The next one is the SSI and SSDI. You know, I don't even think $200 is sufficient. I think people on SSI and SSDI, Social Security and Railroad benefits, should just get a big darn check right up front. I think they should just get a big check right up front because you've been left behind way before this pandemic. And if you wanted to sort of if you want to just give $200 progressively over months, that's fine. But I would just give the money up front. I would just give the money up front and just do it. What is the big problem on the situation? Then hazard pay. Hazard pay, I go against the grain on hazard pay. I don't think certain groups of people deserve hazard pay, and I think other groups of people deserve every penny of hazard pay. So that's where, because I think Nancy Pelosi's hazard pay literally includes every single person on this, every single working adult is hazard pay, which doesn't make sense. Either it's hazardous for some, or it's hazardous for no one. It can't be hazardous for everyone. And then finally, the business grants and business loans. You have to give business grants. I mean, this is just mind blowing. You have to give businesses business grants. I don't mean business loans. I mean business grants. If the businesses, have been existing businesses paying taxes for years, and they've been making money, and they've been operating, they've been serving the community, and they've been filing tax returns, why in the world can you not give these people business grants? I mean, for me to look back on EIDL, not to rant, I guess I am, to look back at business grants and say, hey, a business that made $900,000 net income of 2019, I'm going to give you a $1,000 grant. A $1,000 grant, and the business made $1 million and paid taxes on $1 million. Here's $1,000 grant. That doesn't make sense. Why is the check based upon the number of employees? How about the check be based upon how much income the business made? If business made a lot of money, then give it a nice grant, because it's going to suffer that amount of money. The bigger the business, the bigger it's going to suffer. The smaller the business, the smaller it's going to suffer. If the business only made $4,000, it shouldn't be getting. Here's the example: an Uber Lyft driver who just started, uh, 5 months before the pandemic, and made $3,000 in 2019, versus a business that's been in business for 20 something years and has grossed, 35 million over the last 20 years, and is about to implode. Guess what? Here's $1,000 for him and $1,000 for the other one. Doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. And I don't, it doesn't even make sense that Republicans don't understand that, because Republicans usually like business stuff. Treat businesses fairly, don't treat businesses unfairly. Are we close to 1,000 likes? We are. 962. With 1,600 in the room. The problem is the government and the politicians are freaking greedy and selfish. It's crumbs, says Michael John. Give LA well-deserved likes, says Sandy. I appreciate that, Captain Sandy. Hey, LA, says Sweet Money. Hey, how are you? Um, and there you go. So now at the 42-minute mark, let me give you the big update. I will be back live with you at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time with a continuation on evenings LA. It's about 6:15. We'll be going over the check, and then at 6:30, I'll be back live again, where we go over the deal provisions of the GOP's counterproposal. And with that, thank you for joining me on What the Chuck. Good night. 1,600 people in the room, 1,000 likes. Thank you, Sandy, and thank you for the people who brought the likes from 400 to 1,000 in just about 3 minutes. Great job. And if you have questions or comments on today's video, drop them in the comments below. Please share these videos. Share them as often as you can share them. Tell your friends and neighbors to subscribe. Remember, it's free to subscribe. Hey, Karen, what a beautiful, wow, that's a gorgeous super chat. Hima, wow, how are you? Thank you, Karen. That's a gorgeous super chat. Really, really appreciate it. Tell your friends to subscribe. We're trying to add another 5,000 subscribers in the next few weeks. And also like this video. Stay informed, stay focused, keep on smiling, and I'll stay with LA for more.